This is your news source evening bulletin for today, Thursday, the 21st day of August in the year 2025. I'm Gordon Mosley reporting, and here is what we're tracking tonight. On the eve of members of the discipline services casting their ballots in this year's general elections, the political parties contesting the elections have been making their direct pitches to the members of the Guyana Defense Force, the Guyana Police Force, and the Guyana Prison Service, who will be voting tomorrow, Friday. Members of the Guyana Fire Service will vote with the rest of the country on the 1st of September. In a letter to the Discipline Services, President Irfan Ali, who is seeking re-election, said his party, the PPP Civic, does not merely commend the service of the Discipline Services, but they reward it. He said over the past 5 years, the PPP government has restored dignity, improved conditions, and provided the tools needed for members of the services to serve with pride, adding that his government has kept its promises to the Discipline Services. The president also reminded that over the past 5 years, the government has restored the 1-month tax-free bonus, resulting in $2 billion more per year to the discipline services, while ensuring they have the right tools and a better work environment. President Ali noted that when the families of discipline services members are cared for, their service grows stronger. And when their sacrifices are honored, the entire nation stands more secure and united. He promised that a PPP civic government will continue to deliver for those in uniform.
In the next 5 years, we're going to invest in higher salaries. Your bonus will remain intact. Accelerated promotion, greater access to education and training opportunities. We want our men and women to have all the educational opportunities and training opportunities. We're going to invest in your workplace, making it healthier. Invest to ensure that you own your own homes by supporting you in building those homes. Invest in expanding child care facilities so your children can be taken care of whilst you are taking care of our country, whilst you're taking care of our people. We're going to invest in expanded medical services for you so that you can know that your government and your country will have your back as you have our back.
In its letter to members of the discipline services, the APNU said that under the previous APNU coalition government, members of the discipline services saw their salaries increase by 77% over the 5-year period. The APNU is now promising salary increases of 35%, elimination of income tax for all servicemen and women earning less than $400,000 per month, annual 1-month bonus, and a minimum cash transfer of $100,000. The APNU is also promising better training for members of the discipline services, expanded bursaries for their children, emphasis to be placed on a smarter, more savvy military, police, and firefighter training, and the provision of innovative policing tools. In a statement, former Deputy Commissioner of Police and APNU candidate Dr. Paul Williams said the APNU would guarantee a better life and the restoration of respect and public trust for the discipline services.
So I implore upon you to vote wisely and privately. You do not have to show anyone who you have voted for. Such act is criminal. Do not be caught in such act. You are trained to caution suspect, but if they produce the evidence after being cautioned, then the crime is easily served. If you show anyone who you voted for, that is evidence that you can be held and used against you criminally and forces you to compromise. Do not be fooled. Vote for a change now.
Presidential candidate for the Win Party, Azruddin Mohammed, also released a video statement to the members of the discipline services. In his speech to the women and men in uniform, Mohammed promised to reduce the cost of house lots by 40% for all service members, provide a grant of up to $700,000 to help them start the foundation for their homes, offer significant increases to their salaries and allowances, and offer more support for their families.
We will ensure there's a significant increase in your committed overtime, and we will continue to give you your year-end bonus. Your sacrifice keeps Guyana safe. Under Win, you will be treated with the respect, dignity, and professionalism you deserve. As the next president of the Cooperative Republic of Guyana, I have listened, I have recognized your sacrifice and service. You deserve better, and you will get what you deserve.
Meanwhile, Alliance for Change leader and presidential candidate Nigel Hughes, in his message, thanked the men and women of the disciplined services for their commitment to their jobs over the years. He promised that under an AFC government, no member of the disciplined services will earn less than $250,000 a month. Hughes said the members of the disciplined services deserve fair promotions that are free from politics, adding that they also deserve training that matches their courage, along with scholarships and attachments.
If your name is Corporal Joseph, Constable Singh, Sergeant Williams, Officer Khan, I'm asking you, as a person genuinely committed to building a better Guyana, give me your vote. Give the Alliance for Change your vote on August 22nd. Because I understand what you're going through. Because you deserve better. The election is about necessary change. It's about purpose. And this is your moment to help change the course of our country. Better must come, and it begins with your vote. Early, proudly, and decisively.
Presidential candidate of the Forward Guyana Movement, Amanzo Walton Desir, in a message said the Forward Guyana Movement recognizes that the men and women of the police, defense, fire, and prison services operate under conditions that are fundamentally different to the civilian public service.
We will ensure fair promotions, independent oversight, and an end to political interference in your service. This is not talk, this will be written into law. So on election day, honor your oath and your service. Vote for the movement that will honor you. Look for the wheel, put your X next to the wheel, and vote the Forward Guyana movement, because real change just can't wait.
And presidential candidate of the Assembly of Liberty and Prosperity, Simona Brooms, in a Facebook statement this morning, said it is time for members of the disciplined services and their jobs to be taken seriously. Brooms said for too long, too many of them have been taken for granted. The ALP presidential candidate said she would focus on better allowances, salaries, and pension plans for members of the joint services, while ensuring better equipment and facilities for them to do their job. She said she would pay additional interest to those women in the services. There are more than 10,000 members of the disciplined services listed to vote tomorrow, ahead of the rest of the country in the upcoming elections. More news coming up in just a moment.
Your own home is so much more than just 4 walls, floors, and ceilings. It's a lifetime of great memories and stories. Come talk to us and start your journey home today.
Republic Bank, we're the one for you.
Whether you're heading up the highway or just picking up the kids in Guyana, do it in power and style with the Isuzu MU-X. With the 7 full-size seats, turbo diesel power, and off-road control, Isuzu MU-X is built to handle any family lifestyle. Available at Marix, the authorized Isuzu dealer. Call 226-1306 for more details. Isuzu MU-X, robust, safe and bold.
We ready, time to remove the curse.
The APNU Coalition campaign now moved to Region 5, Hope Town, on Saturday, the 23rd of August from 6 p.m. Come out and hear from our candidates. Come out and hear about our people-centered development strategy that puts you first. Come out and hear from our Prime Ministerial candidate, Jurita Fernandez, our presidential candidate, Aubrey C. Norton, and others. This Saturday, the 23rd of August, the village of Hope Town will vibrate with a people-powered campaign. APNU. Putting people first.
Guyana's agriculture sector is growing stronger than ever. Over the past 4 years, Guyana has made remarkable strides, emerging as the only self-sufficient food-producing country in the world. Revenues earned from the oil and gas sector are being reinvested to improve agriculture, to build better roads, upgrade drainage and irrigation systems, and introducing of modern technology to boost food production. Together, these efforts are creating a stronger, more resilient food system for today and for generations to come.
Shortville, West Coast, Demerara, get ready! The People's Progressive Party Civic Road to Victory is in the home stretch, and we're coming to Sideline Dam, Shortville for a grand rally on Sunday, August 24th at 4 p.m. The red wave of unity, progress, and transformation rolls into your community. We're talking about real results, free university education, over 50,000 new house lots, world-class hospitals, better roads, jobs for our young people, support for farmers and entrepreneurs, and safe, thriving communities across Guyana. Hear directly from our leaders who will be delivering more bold transformational change. President Dr. Irfan Ali, General Secretary Dr. Barrett Jagdeo, Prime Minister Brigadier Retired Mark Phillips, and other national and regional leaders. Let's rally together, show our strength, and send a powerful message of support for the PPPC on Sunday, August 24th, Sideline Dam, Shortville at 4 p.m. The PPPC is the only trusted, proven, multi-ethnic party that puts Guyanese first and leaves no community behind. Vote PPPC. Forward together for a better Guyana.
Still in the world of politics, incensed over a pre-election report published by International Observer Mission, the Carter Center, General Secretary of the People's Progressive Party Civic, Vice President Barrett Jagdeo, today scolded the Carter Center for attempting to what he considered dictate the operations of local banks that have taken a decision to cut ties with candidates of the We Invest in Nationhood Party due to their association with U.S.-sanctioned businessman turned politician Azruddin Mohammed, who heads the party. Addressing reporters at Freedom House today, Mr. Jagdeo described the decision by the Carter Center to weigh in on the decision of the local banks as very strange.
They took it upon themselves. Carter Center is a political organization to tell banks how they must conduct their affairs when even OFAC refused to do that. OFAC made it very explicit, and that's the United States Treasury Department, which is a financial institution, said, we will not tell the local banks what to do because each bank operates within a framework. So I find that very strange.
Additionally, criticisms that the ruling party was utilizing state resources to campaign did not sit well with Mr. Jagdeo. According to him, the contention is nonsensical.
The president is still the president of Guyana. The prime minister is still the prime minister of Guyana. In fact, after the elections, 5 months after the elections, you had ministers of government using state assets when they had already lost the elections. And they said, oh, some people are still going using state vehicles. So you expect the president not to go with his vehicle? It's a bunch of nonsense. And then, oh, the president or others are opening hospitals and schools. And you know, We have no apology to make for that.
In opposition, Mr. Jagdeo had complained about the use of state resources for political campaigning by the then government, even flagging the then president's use of the military helicopter to attend a political meeting at the time. On the Carter Center's criticism of government events being taken over by partisan politics, Mr. Jagdeo said the commissioning of hospitals and schools ahead of the elections is a demonstration of his party's commitment to the country and that it has made good on its promises. He said for that, the PPP Civic has no apologies to offer. Mr. Jagdeo noted that while the Carter Center published a pre-election report back in 2020, that report, unlike the current one, did not make such allegations. Additionally, he said the report fell short of addressing major issues such as vote buying and alleged cases of threats and violent attacks on citizens by candidates and supporters of the Win Party.
The doggy matter has been in the public domain. The spokesperson for the Win campaign beats a woman brutally who went to collect payment for going to a meeting. How did they miss that? How did they miss the fact that Brian Max, who is a candidate on that party's list, threatened to kill the Minister of Education? But they reported on allegations that somehow Win didn't get some space to hold their rally in somewhere in the country.
Mr. Jagdeo, however, found favor with a section of the Carter Center report that dealt with the list of electors. He said the report solidifies the party's position that there is no evidence that the list is bloated. The APNU and the AFC have complained bitterly about the state of the list, contending that it contains the names of thousands of dead people and Guyanese who no longer reside in the country. But Jagdeo said though this has been the party's battle cry, they have failed to provide the evidence to substantiate those claims.
So the Carter Center examined all the evidence and they found no evidence of a bloated list.
The Carter Center said it was not provided with any evidence of the inflation of the voters list, but admitted in its report that it had not assessed the quality of the list. Mr. Jagdeo is also pleased with the center's report that the election campaigns in Guyana have been peaceful for the most part. Claiming political discrimination and financial persecution, the We Invest in Nationhood Party has written to both the Secretary General of the United Nations, Antonio Guterres, and the Secretary General of the Caribbean Community, CARICOM, Dr. Carla Barnett, to not only highlight the plight faced by its candidates in the lead up to the September 1 elections, but to call on the global and regional leaders to heap pressure on a number of local banks by condemning their decision to terminate the accounts of the political candidates for the party, and demand that those accounts be reinstated. In the letter to the UN Secretary General, WIN's General Secretary Odessa Primus explained that a number of banks in Guyana, including Scotiabank, the Guyana Bank for Trade and Industry, the New Building Society, and the Marara Bank, have closed the accounts of several of its candidates, forced untimely repayment of loans, and refused to provide services to the candidates. The actions are not based on any breach of law, she said, financial irregularity or misconduct. She said it has become evident that the decision by the banks to take this approach is due to the members' decision to support the Win Party, which is led by Azruddin Mohammed, a Guyanese businessman whose businesses were sanctioned by the Office of Foreign Assets Control, Primus noted. She told the UN Secretary General that there is no legal or regulatory ground to justify the closure of the accounts, adding that the party sees the move as actions of pure political discrimination and persecution. Calling on the UN to not only condemn the actions of the local banks, but to also demand that the accounts be reopened, Primus said the consequences are devastating. She said public servants who have served their country faithfully for decades suddenly cannot access their salaries because of their accounts being closed. She also said candidates have been stripped of the basic right to participate in the financial community, adding that some have been fired from their jobs because of political affiliation, and others who own small businesses are being forced to operate outside of the banking system. Primus said the actions of the banks are unjust discriminatory, unfair, and profoundly undemocratic. She noted that access to financial services is a basic right of citizens, and to deny them that right because of their political choice is wrong. She also contends that the actions of the banks violate the Universal Declaration of Human Rights and the International Covenant on Civil and Political Rights. She said the UN must act and defend the rights of citizens by condemning the practices. She's also calling on the UN to engage the governments of Guyana and financial institutions with a view to bring an end to the discriminatory practice. In a separate letter to CARICOM, Primus told the CARICOM Secretary General that the actions of the banks also violate the Charter of Civil Society of CARICOM. She called on CARICOM to condemn the actions of political persecution and to urge the banks to reinstate all affected accounts. WIN is also calling on CARICOM to deploy a team of observers to investigate and report on the violations. Primus said the issues are now beyond that of the closure of the bank accounts, but touches on the issues of freedom, equality, and democracy. Back in 2024, businessman Azruddin Mohammed, who now heads the recently formed WIN party, was sanctioned by the US government, along with his father and their businesses, and Government Permanent Secretary May Thomas. The sanctions remain in place, and following the publishing of the list of candidates for the WIN party, headed by Mohammed, a number of the commercial banks made moves to close their accounts, citing internal policies and concerns over association with the sanctioned businessman. Just this week, as we have been reporting, the Carter Center, which is among international observers for the elections, described the actions of the banks as over-compliance and noted the impact it could have on the participation of the affected candidates.
To every woman and man in uniform, in the Guyana Defense Force, the police force, the fire service, and the prison service. I'm Nigel Hughes, and today I'm speaking only to you. You are the ones we call when danger comes, when the alarms ring, when others run away, you run in. You carry the weight of Guyana on your back, but who carries yours? I will. The Alliance for Change will. Under an AFC government, no member of the disciplined services will earn less than $250,000 a month. And if you fall in the line of duty, your family will receive $10 million. Not charity, not sympathy, justice. Give the Alliance for Change your vote on August 22nd. Better must come, and it begins with your vote. Thank you for your service. May God bless you, and may God bless our beautiful Guyana.
This is a paid political ad.
The moment is coming. He has the ball. Will he make the shot? And he made it! Goal! This is the biggest win we've seen in ages. Feel the rush with every bet and win big. Play online at www.ibetgamesur.com.
With iBet Supreme, every game is your game. iBet to win with iBet Supreme.
Must be 18 years and older to bet.
Friday, August 22nd is the day. Come out to the World Site on Mandela Avenue at 5 p.m. for the PPPC's public meeting. The main speakers are the Honorable Minister of Public Works, Bishop Juan Hedger, the Honorable Attorney General, Anil Nandalal, and the Honorable Minister of Labor, Joseph Hamilton. Other speakers are James Bond, Siobhan Dugan, Colleen Sampson, and Alicia Amos. This meeting will be chaired by Steve Ninvo. The PPPC's public meeting, Friday, August 22nd at World Site in West Rhymeville.
Forward together for a better Guyana. Vote PPPC.
Your own home is so much more than just four walls, floors, and ceilings. It's a lifetime of great memories and stories. Come talk to us and start your journey home today.
Republic Bank, we're the one for you.
When you are identified at the polling station as the voter you claim to be, you will be given a ballot paper for you to vote. The election official who gives you the ballot paper must stamp it in your presence at the back of the top section and bottom section with the official 6-digit number of the polling station. If you are given an unstamped ballot paper to vote, it is your right to insist that it must be stamped correctly before you accept it to cast your vote. If you vote on a ballot paper that is not stamped with a 6-digit number, your vote will not be counted because a ballot paper that is not stamped is not valid. It is your constitutional right and civic duty to vote at the upcoming general and regional elections, providing you are listed in the official list of electors. Vote early on election day. For further information, contact GCOM on 225-027-729, 226-6557, 223-9650, or visit the GCOM website at www.gcom.org.gy.
Washi. Hi people. Washing made so easy since I found Washi. Washing me use wash me clothes and I can say Washi soap powder wash clothes so nice. Washi soap powder leave your clothes color bright. Washi soap powder leave me clothes smelling nice, of course. So give thanks to Washi soap powder for doing my laundry right. Keep my clothes color bright. Have my clothes smelling nice for sure. I could not ask for more. Comes in lemon and original. It is a washing machine in a pack. Washi soap powder wash clothes so nice. Washi soap powder leave your clothes color bright. Washi soap powder have my clothes smelling nice, of course.
Distributors located in the Stabrook Market.
I got a real problem, buddy. I want to vote on election day, but I got to work a 12-hour shift every day from Monday to Friday. From 6 in the morning to 6 in the afternoon, boy.
I got the same problem. I registered to vote in Kitty where I live in, and I walk in still up in Linden. And I only get Sunday for go home, and then back again Monday for work.
You know, truly speaking, the hours you work in and the place where you work should not prevent you from voting.
Really? How come?
Listen, the law makes it absolutely clear that employers should give time off to their employees so as to vote. All you have to do is inform your employer that you need time off to exercise your constitutional right to vote.
For real? That's exactly what I can do.
Hey, me too, buddy.
Yeah.
I didn't do that so bad.
For more information, contact the GCOM on 225-027-729 or visit www.gcom.org.gy.
Well, the state is facing a $200 million lawsuit from the common law wife of 21-year-old Linden resident Ronaldo Peters, who was shot and killed earlier this year by the police in Linden. The incident took place back in April, triggering widespread protests. A police sergeant has since been charged and remanded to prison over the murder. In court papers, the common law wife and mother of the young man's only child, Ashanti Benjamin, is seeking damages for negligence which led to the death of Peters, and is also seeking a declaration that the right to life guaranteed under Article 138 of the Constitution was violated when Sergeant Philbert Kendall, a member of the police force, discharged a firearm at the deceased without any lawful jurisdiction. In her application filed by attorney Darren Wade, she said Peters was not armed, was not threatening anyone, and posed no imminent danger to life or public safety, and said that the use of lethal force in those circumstances was unnecessary, excessive, and unlawful, amounting to an arbitrary deprivation of life by a state actor. Benjamin, who informed the court that she has a minor child with Peters, is seeking aggravated and exemplary damages and other costs the court finds justifiable. She also wants a declaration that her right to protection of the law under Article 149 was also violated when the deceased was shot and when he was denied prompt and adequate medical attention. She said the police officers on the scene failed to render or facilitate emergency medical care, despite being aware of the severity of his injury, which contributed directly to his death. She said the failure reflects a broader disregard for the procedural and substantive legal protections owed to citizens, particularly when in police custody. The common law wife wants the court to pronounce on the conduct of the police in the shooting of the young man and the police failing to provide medical treatment. Additionally, she wants the court to rule that such action constitutes a violation of Article 141, which guarantees the right not to be subjected to inhumane or degrading treatment or punishment. She told the court that the treatment of the deceased, both during and after the shooting, fell below the minimum standards of decency required under the Constitution and international human rights law. The 21-year-old man, Ronaldo Peters, was at a shop with friends when Police Sergeant Kendall jumped out of a private minibus and started chasing behind the youth. Within seconds, gunshots were heard, and Kendall was later seen on surveillance video recordings dragging the young man out of a yard and dumping his body in the private minibus. Instead of taking the injured man to the hospital, the policeman reportedly kept him in the bus as it drove around the area and eventually went to the Wisma police station, where the youth was then placed in a police vehicle and taken to the Mackenzie Hospital, where he was pronounced dead. The People's Progressive Party is not only looking to win the upcoming elections, but is also looking to do so with a sizable margin. That's according to candidate and current minister responsible for finance, Dr. Ashni Singh. Speaking during the party's public meeting in Blackbush Polder last evening, Dr. Singh said that people right across the country have witnessed the development taking place under the PPP. He told those gathered at the Blackbush Polder meeting that there are plans afoot to reduce the PPP to a minority government. He described those who are trying to do so as opportunists.
Once again, they are using some opportunists dressed in blue. You know the opportunists dressed in blue, but the strategy is still the same. The strategy is an attempt to take away votes from the People's Progressive Party. But you know, and we know, that that will never happen. Because the people of Guyana will not be fooled again. The people of Guyana will not be fooled like in 2011 and in 2015. This is 2025. And in 2025, we will all be going out and be putting our X next to the cup, as Comrade Nandalal said, at the top and at the bottom. Because we want to return President Ali to government with the biggest majority ever in the history of Guyana.
The governing party has been rolling out an expansive campaign right across the country. It has long said it has its eyes set on the regions 4 and 10, two of the biggest voting blocs of the opposition APNU. But in its bid to secure those regions and the wide electoral margin, Dr. Singh promised that the next 5 years will be better than the last 5.
Just a few days ago, just on Monday, our president unveiled our plans for the next 5 years. And guess what? If you believe that we delivered a lot over the last 5 years, you cannot begin to imagine how much we will be delivering over the next 5 years.
Singh said a government under the PPP would continue to transform Region 6 and has plans of massive road expansions for the region, as well as investments in health, education, and agriculture.
To every woman and man in uniform, in the Guyana Defense Force, the Police Force, the Fire Service, and the Prison Service. I'm Nigel Hughes, and today I'm speaking only to you. You are the ones we call when danger comes. When the alarms ring, when others run away, you run in. You carry the weight of Guyana on your back, but who carries yours? I will. The Alliance for Change will. Under an AFC government, no member of the discipline services will earn less than $250,000 a month. And if you fall in the line of duty, your family will receive $10 million. Not charity, not sympathy, justice. Give the Alliance for Change your vote on August 22nd. Better must come, and it begins with your vote. Thank you for your service. May God bless you, and may God bless our beautiful Guyana.
This is a paid political ad.
Live the island dream. It's your chance to be one of over 100 winners in the Island Dream promotion. Win your share of more than $1 million in cash and prizes. Plus 2 all-inclusive weekend staycations for 2. And that's not all. Score coolers packed with Buster, Turbo, Altitude and Viva. Just buy any can or bottle of Turbo, Buster, Altitude or Viva. Find the code starting with BB. Then visit at Buster Guyana or Turbo_Caribbean on IG or Facebook for details.
Live the island dream, get money. Live the island dream. We ready, time to remove the curse.
The APNU Coalition campaign now moves to the east bank of Demerara, Mocha Arcadia, on Friday, the 22nd of August from 6 p.m. Come out and hear from our candidates. Come out and hear about our people-centered development strategy that puts you first. Come out and hear from our Prime Ministerial candidate, Jurita Fernandez, our presidential candidate, Aubrey C. Norton, and others. This Friday, the 22nd of August, Mocha Arcadia will vibrate with a people-powered campaign. APNU, putting people first.
Guyana's economy is rapidly transforming, and we're all part of it. Guyana is at the forefront of this development by providing reliable and efficient energy and supporting community development from the very core. 100% of Guyana's profit goes back to building schools, roads, and other important infrastructure that connects our cities and towns, providing fuel to domestic, marine, industrial, and aerial transportation. Guyana has now repositioned itself as a market leader in the petroleum industry, building a better future for all of us.
Hi, Miss Shirley. Miss Shirley, help me out now, please. Why everyone telling me I must exercise my right to vote? Need that time for that? Why must I vote?
Why must you vote? That is your constitutional right and civic duty, my child. Besides, think about this. Government officials make decisions that affect the well-being of you, your family, and community. By voting for a party of your choice, you will be electing the people who will be making these very important decisions. If you don't vote, then you will allow the people who vote to choose government officials without your input. Those others may not share your views about issues that matter to you.
Wait. Is so much voting means to me? And I the playing the fool? I definitely gonna vote on election day.
For more information, contact the GCOM on 225-027729 or visit www.gcom.org.gy.
With your regional and international news tonight, I am Svetlana Marshall. In the region, United States Vice President J.D. Vance has used Trinidad and Tobago as an example of high crime rate affecting a country while defending President Donald Trump's security crackdown in Washington, D.C. Vance was booed by protesters Wednesday as he greeted National Guard troops at Union Station. He said crime statistics were massively underreported and described the city as overrun by drug addicts, vagrants, and the chronically homeless. According to the latest U.S. travel advisory, Trinidad and Tobago remains at level 3, which urges travelers to reconsider travel due to serious risks from crime, as well as heightened threats of terrorism and kidnapping. updated on May 7, 2025, to reflect the end of the state of emergency on April 13, it has not been revised to include the newly declared state of emergency. The advisory warns that violent crime is common, including murder, robbery, assault, sexual assault, home invasion, kidnapping, and gang activity, and identifies several areas in Port of Spain where U.S. government employees are prohibited from entering. 2 Haitian police officers were killed and 2 others seriously wounded when an explosive drone accidentally detonated at a SWAT base near Haiti's capital, authorities in the Caribbean nation said Wednesday. Directed by the Prime Minister, a task force has since March been operating explosive-laden drones to help police fight powerful armed gangs that have taken control of most of the capital. A private military company run by Blackwater founder Eric Prince is also taking part in the drone operations. The Prime Minister's office said in a statement that the incident took place on Tuesday night in the hillside town of Kenkoff, a flashpoint in the conflict due to its strategic location overlooking a diplomatic hub. Local residents found the drone after its operators lost contact with the device due to poor weather and took it to nearby police shortly after it exploded. Haiti's National Police said an investigation has been opened. And finally tonight, international news. U.S. celebrity judge and social media star Frank Caprio has died, aged 88, his family has said. Over a 40-year career in Rhode Island, he famously used compassion and humor to make judgments that took into consideration the personal circumstances of the people in the dock. Videos of Judge Caprio presiding over cases on his hit TV show Caught in Providence have had billions of views on social media, earning him the title, the nicest judge in the world. His death following a diagnosis of pancreatic cancer was announced on his official Instagram account, where he was remembered for his warmth and unwavering belief in the goodness of people. Judge Caprio had presided over thousands of cases in his hometown of Providence, Rhode Island, before embarking on a TV career. And that's your News Source Evening Bulletin for tonight. I'm Svetlana Marshall, wishing you a pleasant evening.